2020 has been a pretty horrible year for pretty much everybody, but in terms of consumer technology, I think 2020 was one of the best years ever. So today I thought I'd share my top 5 list of the best tech that was released this year. So now this list contains a pretty wide spectrum of things, from smartphones to cameras to gaming consoles. Now I've not tried each and every one of these devices, but I've got a pretty good idea of all of them based on the feedback and the research that I've done. So here we go. At number 5 is the Sony A7C. So Sony has made a really compact full frame sensor camera. And if you guys aren't familiar with camera technology, the larger the sensor, usually the better the light gathering capability, the better the depth of field. So Sony has finally made a full frame camera the size of one of these. Now this is my Sony a6400 and it is an absolutely amazing camera. But now they've made a full frame camera with the same size body. It's got the bigger battery from the A7 III. It's about $1,800, which is very reasonable for a full frame camera. It shoots in 4K. It's got in-body image stabilization as well and the new color science that Sony's giving. So I think this is an absolutely steal of a camera. I would have bought one already, but my tech budget for this year pretty much got spent out with all the new gaming consoles and all that. So probably next year I will be picking up an A7C. From the image quality that I've seen online, it looks absolutely amazing. Very similar to a Sony a7 III that was released a couple of years ago. It's got almost everything that camera has, plus a flip out screen. So it probably makes it the best vlogging or YouTube camera out there right now, in my opinion. Number 4 is the DJI Mavic Mini 2. Now, I already did a review of the Mavic Mini 2. I'll leave the link right up over here. You guys can go check it out. It's a phenomenal little drone. This thing is super tiny. It shoots in 4K. Now with the new remote control having OcuSync 2, it's got an amazing range and amazing signal quality back to your phone. It is undoubtedly the best beginner drone out there, and I think it's one of the most improved products compared to last year's DJI Mavic Mini. So an easy recommendation over there if you guys are looking for a drone. And if you're pretty new to this whole drone world, you won't be unhappy with the new DJI Mavic Mini 2. It's quite an amazing little drone. So at number 3 is the Samsung Galaxy Fold 2. Now I did a review of this phone as well, and this would probably have not been on my list unless I experienced it firsthand. Now the Fold 2 is an amazing piece of technology. They have vastly improved it from the previous version of the Samsung Fold. Folding screen in the center is beautiful. It's got deep black, it's an OLED screen with 120 Hz refresh rate. They fixed the screen on the outside. Now the screen takes up the whole front of the phone as well. The cameras on it are amazing. I know it's a little bit on the expensive side. In fact, it's very expensive. But just the amount of cool tech that they could pack into such a small body and make a folding phone of that build quality, I have to give Samsung props on that one. Now at number 2, now this was a little bit of a toss-up for me between the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. Now both of these are next-gen consoles. Both perform pretty similarly. I do own them both. And I leave up the links to both the console reviews that I did up here. Both have been amazing. The Xbox feels amazingly quick compared to the old Xbox. But the PlayStation 5 just has a little bit more in the package with exclusive games out there. The new DualSense controller is pretty amazing. And it's got all the other benefits like the SSD and all that. And I always get excited for a new console generation because we get them once about every 7 years or so. So we're going to have the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X around for at least the next 4 to 5 years at a minimum. So it's always exciting to get a new console, and this year PlayStation and Xbox didn't disappoint. But at number 2, I'm going to give it to the PlayStation 5. And now the number 1 piece of tech that I found most impressive this year. I haven't actually had hands-on time with one, but I would give it to the new M1 MacBook Air. So in case you guys don't know, Apple decided to release their own silicon for the first time. They're moving away from Intel and they've made their own Apple M1 chips. And one of the first devices that came out with this new M1 chip is the new MacBook Air. Now from the outside, it looks almost exactly the same as the previous generation Air. But Check these specs out. It's got 4 times the CPU power of the previous MacBook Air. It's got double the battery life. It's also got a P3 color gamut screen. The 8 gigs of RAM that it comes with is about equivalent to a 16 gig computer that you would have bought last year. And at the same time, they also made it fanless, so it's going to be super quiet. And they reduced the price by $100. So that is an insane value proposition that Apple has. Probably the best deal that Apple's ever had in terms of computers. And I would easily recommend anybody looking to buy a new laptop, at least have a look at the new M1 MacBook Air, because it is that good. It probably beats every single computer in its price class quite easily. It does have a few disadvantages, like you can't run Windows on the new laptops, but if you're a Mac person and if you're interested in the Apple ecosystem whatsoever, just go check out the new MacBook Air. It is an insanely good value proposition. The only reason I haven't picked up a MacBook Air already is because I work on 3 monitors over here, and the MacBook Air only supports one display output, so you can have the display on the screen and an external display. So that's kind of like a deal breaker for me. But I do have my 11-inch MacBook Air, which is from 2015 now. It's a little bit old, so I was thinking of replacing it. So maybe next year, if I get a good deal on it, I will pick up a new MacBook M1 MacBook Air for my mobile editing. It can edit 4K video smoothly. I mean, it's just a beast of a computer with a fanless design and a really good price. So I couldn't help but name that my #1 tech gadget of the year. So let me know your top 5 in the comments below. I'd love to know what you guys think of the amazing tech that came out this year. There was really killer stuff. It was really hard to make this list. But if you guys like this video, hit that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to watch more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.